WWE Clash of Champions this Sunday, and we have a lot of matches to go over, so we'll try to go over them as quickly as possible. First off, we have the kickoff match. We actually have a kickoff match announced for the new era of Raw pay-per-views. Nia Jax will have a rematch with Alicia Fox. Now, if you saw this match on Raw last week, you saw a fucking fight. You just saw two women go at it until one of them could not stand anymore. And Nia Jax just fucking slammed her into the barricade. Through the barricade even. It was amazing. But we didn't really have a winner. We technically did have a winner because Nia Jax basically KO'd Alicia Fox at that point. But the match could continue at that point, so pretty much as a referee stoppage, TKO, whatever you want to call it. But the feud must continue, and we have this match, which is very simple. Nia Jax will remain undefeated on Raw. Next up, we have the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. For the first time in a long time, the Cruiserweight Championship is on a Raw pay-per-view. Or any pay-per-view for that matter. As the new champion who won it at the Cruiserweight Classic, T.J. Perkins versus Brian Kendrick, the new number one contender. Now, Brian Kendrick won this match in a fatal four-way last night on Raw by defeating Cedric Alexander, Grand Metalik, the runner-up for the Cruiserweight Classic, and who was the other one? Rich Swann, who was very impressive at this point. But for those who have not seen T.J. Perkins before, is a man that has done it all in wrestling. I mean, hell, I remember him TNA as fucking Puma, and that's going a long way. That was, I believe that was an X-Cup thing. He came as Puma, which was innovative at the time because you would have him have the, you would have him on the ropes kind of like Spider-Man, and which he still does to this day. But for those who have never seen TJP before, you're in for a treat. I mean, because the guy has done a lot. I mean, a former NWA Heritage Champion, former X Division Champion, former X Division Champion, Championship Tournament winner. I swear that he was a champion from Hollywood thing, but I think that was somebody else. But, I mean, the guy's done a lot in his career over the years. And you may remember him as the original Suicide from TNA. You may remember him as Manic. But the guy has done a lot since being 13 years old in the business. Did a lot in his career, and now is the Cruiserweight Champion. And with that being said, I mean, with the Cruiserweights, it's kind of weird. Because, it's a new division. You could pretty much swap the title to Brian Kendrick. But that would defeat the purpose of the Cruiserweight Classic, and that was to crown a Cruiserweight Champion. So I feel like TJP will retain, but I would not be surprised if the veteran Brian Kendrick picked up the win and the championship. I mean, this would be Kendrick's first pay-per-view since 2009 on WWE, for that matter. So it's interesting to see what will happen from there. Next up, we have the 7th and final match in the Best of 7 series. Cesaro versus Sheamus. The winner gets a title shot. We don't know what title. We can only assume it's the Universal title, but it could be the US. We don't know. I don't know with this one. Because, it's going to go to 7 either way. It was going to go to 7. We all knew it. For those who have seen the Best of 7 series, we all knew it was going to go to 7. For those new fans, it's probably the most exciting thing in the world for them. But I feel like Sheamus wins the Best of 7 series. Not because Cesaro doesn't deserve it, which he does. He deserves to win the series and get a title shot. He deserves it. But something tells me that Cesaro, this could be his last run in the business. Something tells me that this could be his last run in WWE. And, that's pretty much it. I don't think Cesaro will win just because of that. But what a story it would be if Cesaro did go all the way to the 7 match and win. What a story that would be. I don't think it'll happen, but it would be a great story. The Women's Championship is now changed. It is now a triple threat match because of controversy. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the title. We saw last week on Raw Bayley and Sasha's shoulders, all four of them were both down, which would technically mean that Dana Brooke would be the only one left in the match. Dana should have won via elimination, even though it wasn't an elimination match. It's the only right thing to do. Dana would have won, and we would have had a face Dana Brooke against Charlotte. Dana probably turning on Charlotte or something like that. But Dana fucked it up for herself because she showed Mick Foley all four shoulders were down. Excuse me, and she screwed herself pretty much. So we could be guaranteed a new champion. I don't know if it would be Sasha. I don't know if it would be Bayley. My heart's saying Bayley, but the mind is saying Sasha Banks, just because they want to continue that feud. But I don't know. We could see Charlotte retain the title, but, you know, she just won it back last at SummerSlam, so it's possible. I don't know if it'll happen. Maybe Dana will screw it up for Charlotte again, and we have a Charlotte Dana feud moving forward. I don't know. And finally, the match that was supposed to happen at SummerSlam but didn't happen due to Roman being an idiot. Which he attacked Rusev for no reason during the match before the match got started. So we have the match that possibly could happen: Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the United States Championship. And what happens there? We all know it's going to happen. We all know that Roman Reigns will be the guy that defeats Rusev. It happened with Cena. It'll happen with Roman. I hate to say that, but it will happen. And if anything, it's better than him being in the world title scene right now. It's much like with Cena a year ago. It would be better for him to have the U.S. title than to have the world title. But at this point, for Roman, that would be a good starting point for Roman. I know for months I've said since he was suspended, he shouldn't be in any title chasing at all, which is true. But if you're gonna do it, you might as well have it be the United States title instead of the world title, so there's less backlash on what happens with Roman Reigns because of the suspension and everything. Plus, it would be a big win for him, and then Rusev and Lana can continue their honeymoon. I don't know if they're still doing that. That way, you can write him off, and they continue the honeymoon. I don't think it'll happen since he's back now, but it's possible. And with that being said, the Clash of Champions is this Sunday. It will be a night to remember for sure, much like Backlash was. But hopefully, most of the champions will stay the same. The Cruiserweight Championship could change hands. I wouldn't mind. Just because it's a new championship, a new division, you have to have intrigue in it somehow. The tag titles could do the same. The world title, universal title, could be the same. I don't think it'll happen. But, it is what it is. But hopefully, they will have a bigger impact than SmackDown, because that is what they need to do to keep this rating war alive. Because if they don't, SmackDown's already won.